What does Hastings mean to me? Hastings to me is a very special place. It was my home where I started my educational career as a bilingual kindergarten teacher. And it's family to me. I was able to be here, and my mom was an aide here with me as well. So it also made it seem like family. Hastings is a place where you can come and feel at home with the staff and the parents. And I was just very honored when I did receive Teacher of the Year here at Hastings. And it just began my whole educational career. And I'm very honored to be able to be in this video and tell you what a wonderful place Hastings is to be, not only to work, but still part of me and part of my family.
Welcome, Hastings Huskies. I'm so honored to share this night with you, even though I'm not there in person. What Hastings Elementary means to me? Well, there's a lot of things, but I think if I had to sum it up in one word, it would be family. We did so many wonderful things during the time that I was here, and many wonderful things before and after my time here. And it's so exciting to see students, parents, and staff members all coming together to work for the good of the students. We had a lot of fun activities, but some of the ones that stand out in my mind included the Christmas parade, participating in the Duncanville Christmas parade and building the floats and having such a wonderful time that night. Also, the Kindergarten Golden Book Club at the end of the year, when kindergarten presented certificates and books to students in kindergarten who had learned how to read, and to see the kindergartners so excited and sharing, I'm a reader, made everything else that we did seem very worthwhile. So, although it's important to honor this building as we move into the next phase of Hastings Elementary, I also think it's important to remember that the building is not the people, and the people are what make Hastings Elementary. So congratulations, Hastings Elementary, and we're excited to see all the wonderful things that will be going on in the future.
Greetings, everyone, from Colorado. I am Bobbie Long, and I was the principal at Hastings Elementary in 1997 to 2003. Unfortunately, I am unable to attend the event because I made a commitment to train another elementary school staff on the 7 habits of highly effective people. Otherwise, I would be celebrating right along with you. You know, when I think back to Hastings Elementary, I think about the opportunities that I was given. I was given the principalship with a fabulous staff, a great community that supported what we were doing for kids. So many memories as I went through all of my artifacts and paraphernalia from Hastings Elementary, so I brought a few to share with you. Nan Ramsey, don't know if you remember this, but you gave me this as a reminder that you saw great things in me, and that greatness would continue in Colorado. And I have cherished this along with many, many other cards and pictures that were from Hastings Elementary. When I think of pictures, I gotta think of Hard Rock Cafe. And at Hard Rock Cafe, we took a staff picture. Look at how beautiful and handsome the Hastings Elementary staff was. Also, look how young we were. But just the joy and the smiles of the fresh new beginning of a new year is always a great place to be. And that's the beauty of being an educator, is that every year you get a new opportunity to work with students and assure success for them. You know, sometimes in Colorado it does get cold, lots of snow on the ground, and so I have a sweatshirt, and this sweatshirt not only keeps my body warm, but it keeps my heart warm too. So I wear this frequently to think of you and to keep me warm for the cold, cold winters. As I continue to think back and reminisce, going down memory lane, we had some awesome Toss Pep rallies, and we also had some great t-shirts. And so my mom, Barbara Blevins, a former music teacher, put together a t-shirt quilt for me. So once again, just another way to remember all the great things that we did for students, to get them motivated, to help them to do their very best, to develop that stamina and grit to roll over the TOS test. Another thing that I think back is, we were going to be the best looking professional dressed staff. And so I think about, ladies, the stockings or the hose that you had to wear. Man, it was critical that your shirts were tucked in and you wore a tie. You handled that expectation with grace, a little mumbling, but I have to say, I'm sorry. What was I thinking when I made that expectation? However, you were the best dressed and best looking staff because of those expectations. As we close the old Hastings building, lots of students and lots of adults and community members walked through those doors. They're going to exit the door. They're also going to have an opportunity to go into a brand new building where learning is going to continue. I wish everyone the very best, and I know you are going to continue to do great things for kids. Colorado is most likely where I will retire, and I will complete my educational years. However, I will never forget where it all began, and that was Hastings, not only as an administrator, but also as a 5th grade student. I wish the very best for you. Enjoy the camaraderie and the celebrations of the closing, and then celebrate with the opening of a new Hastings Elementary. If you're ever in Colorado, let me know. We've got some extra bedrooms, and if you're camping, we'll come join you. Have a great evening.
Both of my children, Courtney and Clayton, attended Hastings Elementary for their entire elementary grades. We actually lived right behind the school on Brookwood, so it was a short walk every day for them to come to a school where they really thrived. They enjoyed learning. They had teachers who cared about them, about everything about them, not only their learning, but their social development. And I know because of their time here at Hastings Elementary that they developed the skills that have allowed them to become very successful adults, but in turn successful parents as well. Hastings Elementary has always been a school with a big heart. The staff have always focused on the needs of the kids, even back from the 80s when my children attended to today. It's not about the building, but it's about the people inside the building. And with the raising of the current building and the opening of the new facilities, I'm really excited about the opportunities that are going to be presented to our students in the future with outstanding facilities and opportunities to really learn and thrive in a very caring environment. So Hastings Elementary has a special place in the heart of our family, of my children. Think back to Miss Deering and Miss Cannon as principals while my children were here. Renee McNeely as a counselor. The teachers over time have really had a marked impact, not only on my 2 children, but on all the children that had the opportunity to come through Hastings Elementary. So very excited about the new building, and very excited about the opportunity to relive some of the memories here with my own family.
To me, Hastings means just new beginnings. In 1987, I had the opportunity to join the wonderful Hastings family and work to develop a pilot program for content mastery in the elementary. Hastings had been chosen as one of 2 elementary schools to do that pilot program. Ironically, the 2 schools that were chosen that year to do that program were Acton and Hastings. So I joined the Hastings staff in 1987. Another new beginning that had a profound impact on my life and continues to this day was that year on September the 28th, I got a phone call from the Methodist Mission Home telling me that I was going to become a parent. And I took that phone call in the nurse's office, and I can remember writing on those little yellow while you were out notes about Kristen and how much she weighed and how long she was, and there was no privacy, so everybody was listening to me take that phone call, and somebody had the forethought to take Polaroid pictures. And in her baby book I have pictures, and I call those my birth pictures. Ironically, 28 years after that, we were having the groundbreaking for the new building, and as I drove up that morning to that groundbreaking ceremony, it was just really deja vu and a lot of really, really good memories. The next year, I had the opportunity to take on my first counseling job, and that was a wonderful experience. I cannot tell you how. I still remember the Bartosh families. I remember the Chrietzbergs. I remember the Myers, Aaron Myers. I remember Allie Myers. Also, a new beginning for me was about 6 years later, when it was time for my daughter to go to first grade. I had the opportunity, or employees in Duncanville had the opportunity to choose the schools that they wanted their kids to go to. And not because I felt like Hastings was any better than any of the schools in Duncanville. I chose Hastings because I knew the foundation and the quality of education that she would be receiving. And I cannot tell you the experience that she had in first grade. And her teacher was Bonnie Dacus in first grade, and I was telling somebody not long ago that the really neat thing about that experience was 18 years later, in 2006, there was still a group of kids at the high school that had been in that first grade class, and those kids got together as seniors and invited Miss Dacus to their high school graduation. That's the impact she had on those kids.
When I found out I was going to go to Hastings Elementary, I was thrilled, just thrilled. I had been teaching 3 years at Fair Meadows. My room was next to the playground, no air conditioning. Playground was always busy. And Hastings was started by Dr. Bird. He wanted a teen teaching school. I wanted to go and experience no windows in teen teaching. It was ready to be occupied in January 1969, but we held off and did not open until September of 1969. The teachers had to come 2 weeks early to learn how to do teen teaching in an open area. Most of the teachers came over with Mr. Wheeler from Fair Meadows. I thought I had died and gone to heaven. We had air conditioning at Hastings. We had carpeting at Hastings. It was clean, new. We had audio-visual room. It was just wonderful. I fell in love with Hastings Elementary. I stayed at Hastings until 1999, 30 years at Hastings, and I loved every minute of it. The students, the other faculty. I taught 30 years. I had 5 principals right here in Duncanville, 4 of them, all 5 of them really, right here at Hastings. When we first opened, we had just this building that's here. No kindergarten room, no gymnasium. We just had this building. There were 5 levels, 1st through 5th, no kindergarten. Everybody ate with their children at lunch. We had no duty-free lunch. We did our own PE. We did not get a PE teacher until about 5 years later, and that was Mr. Tooley, was our PE teacher, and they built a new gym. which we were grateful for. We did have a music teacher, Barbara Blevins. She came between Hastings and Fair Meadows like every other day. But we did the exercise program in the cafeteria auditorium area. We did music until she came. And since we did take the children to gym and lunch and to the library, we had a library aide, not an official librarian. We were with them the whole time from like 7:45 to 2:45, and our conference period was 2:45 to 3:45 when we went home. Well, after we'd been here 20 years, Vicki Deering, our principal at the time, had wanted a birthday party. She, in the meantime, left, and Eva Cannon came as the principal. So we organized a birthday party. The Lahr family were very gracious. They put on production shows, and they put on a big production for Hastings' birthday. They wrote an original song about how exciting it was to be here, and they had to wear shades. Everything was so bright here. And the children were very excited about it. We had it December 7th, 1989, and they took up money to plant a tree. So they planted a red oak tree outside. They collected, I believe, about $150, and they planted that tree, which is growing now. It's a beautiful red oak tree now, and I so hope they use it to shade the parking lot. Now we move on to 1999, when I, with a heavy heart, decided to leave and retire from Hastings. I came back one time after that, and now I'm here today to visit, and I cannot get over the changes that have been made at Hastings Elementary. But Hastings Elementary, this Hastings Elementary, will always have a special place in my heart. Thank you.